I'm speaking on behalf of Athlone Stands Together. I'm actually from Roscommon myself.
Okay, that's all right.
We're facing the similar situation only
Yeah.
transpired this week, so I suppose this would be of interest to the people of Roscommon as well.
Sure, yeah.
So from your experience, do the types of temporary accommodation entries like that in Lissy-Woolen continue to draw on community resources such as emergency services, i.e. Gardaí, ambulance, etc., and what are the reasons for that?
Well, of course they'll draw on them. I mean, it's quite clear that like what Ireland has done is completely reckless. We've allowed a massive flood of asylum seekers and refugees into the country. We've no intelligence on them. The Gardaí are very worried about them, unofficially. Officially, they're not worried. Unofficially, they're terrified because they have no idea what's after coming into their community. And this is a very, very serious problem. And it's only a question of time before it manifests itself onto the streets, you know, because it's just look at other countries. Look at Sweden. Sweden is a low-level civil war, you know, because of what's happened, because of a failure to control this. Denmark is the only one that seems to have got a grip on it. And we should be studying Denmark, you know. But the last thing we should be doing is joining the EU Migration Pact. And yet we have done that. We've agreed to do that by Dáil vote last year. That's nuts.
Was our government did, we as a people, but we had no choice.
Yeah, but the TDs would say that they were, you know, they were following the democratic norm. But like that's the whole point. Like Irish democracy has been replaced by stakeholder capitalism, and you do that by alienating the people from the power itself. And so you have a number of pillars, 4 pillars. I talk about it tonight. But the NGO pillar replaces the people. So there's a swarm of NGOs around the Irish Parliament, swarm of them. They get $6.5 billion a year of taxpayers' money. Now there's 33,000 of them or something like that. 12,500 were charities. You take them out of the way. The rest of them are not charities, right? So there's an NGO being funded by Irish taxpayer money, working against the Irish people on a policy level. I mean, that's what's happened, and we need to call a spade a spade. Now, the NGOs themselves get about 14 billion in total revenues, but they're getting 6.5 billion from the state. So the question is, where's the other 7 or 8 billion coming from? Who's paying it for what? And what kind of lobbying is going on? Because it's quite clear to me, I was horrified to see there wasn't one single TD for Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil or the Greens actually broke ranks. And they surrendered the borders of the Republic of Ireland last year on the 25th of June, as if it was something, as if it was a nothing. Well, it's not a nothing; it's a something, you know. So I think that what's going to happen here is that the Irish people are going to have to come out onto the streets and rallies, and those rallies will develop and develop and develop unless there is a response.
I see in Cork on the 7th of June there's one scheduled as well, and I'd actually be hoping myself to attend it with many others from the area. So I suppose I would agree with you, and it needs to be people in numbers and people power, because I don't see any other way out of this.
Yeah, but for all those who are sitting on their sofas at home or wherever they're looking at this, and they're expecting, they're wanting their neighbour to come out and do it for them. That's not going to work. Listen, that is not going to work this time. It's not going to work. We have to get out, all of us, together and bark at the government. And then they'll shift. Boy, gee, they'll shift very quickly, you know, because they lead from behind. If they see the people are going in one direction and they're not themselves going in that way, they'll quickly shift. You know, remember, most politicians, gave up their principles and their integrity to do what they're doing.
Selling us out.